Where is snail? Shane? Shane, where is snail? Is. Where is Kuguku? Where is Kuguku? On the tree. Over there. Where is snail? Where is snail? Over there. Yeah. Where is snail? Over there. Is it? All right. There is snail. Over there. Over there. Where is doggy? Over there. Yeah. Over there. Yeah. Where is shanu? Where is shanu? Is it over there? Where is shanu?
Where is party?
Yeah, where is Balti? Over there. Where is shanu? Where is shanu? Where is shanu? Where is dustbin brush? Over there. Yeah. When you found it, wave and cheer. Wave and cheer karo. Wave and cheer. No?
Let's look more over there.
Over there. Ball is in your hand. Huh?
Where is phone?
Where is phone? Where is plant plot? Is over there. Yeah. Huh? Where is tray? Over there. Where is sponge? Over there.
Where is number 4?
Where is number 4?
Over there.
Is over there. Where is snail? Over there. Where is cat? Over there.
Where is butterfly?
Where is butterfly? Over there.
Where is bag?
Where is bag? Over there.
Where is window?
Where is window? Over there.
Where is water?
Where is water? Over there.